Hey folks, during the month of June, we have been talking about God's timing in the homeschooling journey. And what conversation or discussion of that would be complete without talking about waiting? Because waiting is a part of God's economy. The problem, I think, happens when we misunderstand what waiting is supposed to look like. For example, whenever I was teaching my first teaching position after college, I had gone into another teacher's classroom, and she had written on the board a journal topic for the day, and it said, sometimes we shouldn't work, we should just wait. Well, I was in a waiting mode myself at that time and feeling a little bit sarcastic, and so in parentheses behind that I wrote, waiting is work, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Because waiting is not a time of passivity. It's not a time that we sit, wait for God to wave the magic wand. It's a time for us to be intentionally preparing for that next level of life. I've often told people the next level of life or of blessing cannot be attained at the present level of obedience. We need to grow in God's grace, be it spiritual growth or maybe emotional growth, intellectual growth, whatever the case may be. We should not be waiting, twiddling our fingers. I've told young men with basketball, I said that basketball players are not made from October to March during the season. They're made from March to October during the off season, lifting weights, working on their shots, working on their the basic disciplines or fundamentals. And the same is true in the spiritual arena as well. So we need to understand that waiting is not a curse word. Waiting is not just good, it is necessary to prepare us for that next level. So what does that look like? Well, obviously we need to read and pray, the two basic answers. We need to know the scriptures better. We need to be in sync with God in our prayer life as well. But it goes on past that. I think it's so important for our children to be reading good books, biographies, autobiographies, and they will walk in other people's footsteps. For those who are waiting for a spouse, perhaps a young lady, if you're praying for a godly spouse, during this season, you need to be doing all that you can be doing to become a Proverbs 31 woman. And the opposite is also true for young men who are wanting a godly wife. You need to be becoming a godly man during this season, devouring the Word of God to prepare to lead your family. I mean, we understand how foolish it would be to sit down on a chair and wait for God to bring some job to us or some skill to us. We have to be about the business of obtaining those things through the grace of God for our future. So today, as you contemplate waiting, don't see it as an enemy. Don't see it as a pest. See it as a friend, during which time we're to be very intentional about what we do, preparing for the future and increasing our present level of obedience. This is Kirk Smith with ICHE's Take 5.